So, you guys talk a lot, including today, about how the border wouldn't be such a big deal if Congress would have just passed your immigration bill on day one. Who was in charge of Congress on day one?
So it's been 3 years. It's been three whole years, more than 3 years, more than 1,000 days. And look, this is a difficult issue, obviously. This is a difficult issue. And what we have said is that Congress has to act, right? Congress, Democrats, Republicans have to act. But in those 3 years, it is true that Republicans have gotten in the way. They just have, Peter. They have consistently used immigration, the immigration system, the broken system, as a political stunt. That's what they've done. They've gotten in the way in trying to get more Border Patrol agents. They've gotten in the way in actually trying to fix what's happening, the challenges at the border. They did.
Okay, folks, so the Democrat narrative is basically crumbling into a pile of rubble at this point. Concerning the southern border, we know it's deliberate. We know that it's part of your plan. Okay, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's a real conspiracy. Like, conspiracy is illegal by law, and that is the conspiracy. You're breaking the laws on purpose by pretending to be in an act of omission, by simply just leaving them open, okay? But you're breaking the law, and right now, the federal government, these people, they are breaking the law, okay? And this is kind of goes along with this anarcho-tyranny, where you have the federal government breaking the law, you have all these people coming across the border, and there's human sex trafficking, there's rape and assault on the border, there's drugs being brought across the border, and these people are being shipped off to these cities and are getting little to no punishment for their crimes, such as we saw the other day with that immigrant in New York who they kicked that cop, they beat that cop, and then he got off. He went to go get charged, and he didn't even get charged and got out. That's the anarchy, okay? The tyranny is where if you jaywalk, you're going to have the cops swoop down on you, give you a ticket, possibly throw you in jail, and you are generally a law-abiding citizen. And so do you see what I mean? That's the tyrannical part. So we're seeing anarcho-tyranny play out, and this statement just says it right here, that is their goal, okay? And so this lie cannot be sustained, and it was being sustained for a while when Texas was taking most of the brunt of this, which they still are. Texas is taking the brunt of so much of this illegal immigration. It's just the mainstream media made sure never to pay attention to anything going on down in Texas unless it was, it went along with their narrative that they hate Texas because they're a conservative state. They're very conservative. They're very independent too. And they're a big gun state, so they hate that too. So they're not going to report on this. Well, now you can't avoid it. And this is why the mainstream media is looking so ridiculous at this point, because this is a lie that has truly come to a critical mass. You can't sustain this anymore, especially now that, which was a genius idea, when Abbott and DeSantis and a couple other governors started sending buses of illegals up to New York, Chicago, and Boston, and Denver, and LA, these sanctuary cities, and San Francisco, these sanctuary cities who talked the talk, but they can't walk the walk, obviously. And now their citizens are complaining. These same people that were like, come, please, the hungry masses, come to our town. These aren't the hungry masses if you see the number of healthy people coming across the border. Now, I'm not going to include the kids there. They're an innocent group, I believe. But you see the adults and the military-aged males coming across the border. These are well-fed individuals that are getting $5,000 stipends thanks to us. Cell phones, maps from the American Red Cross and a couple of other NGOs. And they are getting plenty. Okay, more than the regular citizen. These are super citizens. We don't have as many rights as illegal aliens at this point. So this is how you know it's a deliberate plan to replace replace the country with these people here, and make sure to bring in anarchy. Don't punish the anarchy, but make sure to impose tyranny on those who actually do abide by the laws. Okay, so Karine Jean-Pierre, this is unsustainable. I'm just going to tell you. And with the fluttering eyelids and the looking down and waiting to hear what comes in your microphone in your ear, I suppose. I don't know. They just can't answer this anymore. And Democrat voters, this is affecting everybody. So Democrat voters, so when they're shoveling off these illegal immigrants to these cities, so Chicago, New York, Boston, they're putting them, a lot of these illegal immigrants are being put into homeless shelters, and then the veteran homeless are kicked out. So the ones who fought our wars for us and fought to protect this country, they're being kicked out on the street now. Yeah, the irony of it all. And this is what, to me, makes Biden not just a bad president, but a devil, is that he's fine with this. And that these people are just fine with this. Because essentially they are intent on instating communism. That's the intent, like a totalitarian type system. And that's who is in the White House right now. These senior executive staff right now in the White House who've been there for a long time, they are unelected people. They control Biden. And I would say some of those are like Victoria Nuland. She's one of them, for sure. And so here we are. And they can't lie any further. They can't say, well, Congress has gotten in the way. And he's like, Congress is 3 years now. And he says, well, Congress was Democrat at that time. So you could have done something about it anyway. So this didn't just backfire. She got nuked on this, and she couldn't really squirm her way out of it. So let's look at some of the commentary here. Mark Hemingway says, this is a great, largely ignored point. Biden insists he needs a Congress to pass a law to fix the border. He doesn't. But if that were the case, why didn't Dems pass one when they fully controlled Congress? I don't know. KJP, can you answer that? No, probably not. They take the same approach when blaming Republicans for gun violence, of course, and calling for additional laws, all while hoping nobody remembers the Democrats had full control for Biden's first 2 years in office. This goes back to the abortion debate, too. During that whole time and during Obama, they could have done something about that. The Democrat-controlled Congresses, the Democrat president, they could have actually done things if they wanted, to instate their own mandates, like concerning Roe versus Wade. But they never did that, and they had control of that. So when Roe versus Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, yes, of course, there were actually progressives and leftist activists who were angry at Democrats because they realized that. For once in their lives, they realized what was actually going on. And I'm like, well, welcome to politicians. They don't really care about you. And it's, hopefully you learn that quick, and then you can move on with your life with that information and go forward with vigilance. So it's kind of weird, right? They spent all those 3 years saying how the border is secure, though. Yeah, they blame Republicans for this. I'm not sure why. Yes, there's always a few rhinos, but this sits squarely on Democrat shoulders for sure. And the fact that it's remaining open is squarely on them this time. And I'm not even trying to be partisan. I'm just saying, I wasn't even political, I'd look at it and go, seems like that group is really being irresponsible. It just seems to me, if I had no idea about politics, I'd just go, it seems like those guys are always like leaving this open. They're canceling all these executive orders that Trump made about securing the border on the first day. Like Biden did that his first day. He canceled these executive orders that would have secured the border. So I'm like, it just appears to me like that's what they're doing. And so make no mistake, this is deliberate. of course, but the lie just can't be sustained because, as I was saying, these illegals are being brought into these big cities, and now they're shutting down schools in these black areas, especially, and like rec centers and YMCA's. They're shutting this stuff down. And the black residents, who I suspect vote about 90 to 95% Democrat, are now pissed, which they should be. And I don't care if they're Democrat or not, they're US citizens, okay? Those black people, those white people, whoever they are, you're US citizens and you deserve rights, but those rights are being taken away. So anyway, that's my input on that. And let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm still kind of just, I don't know what more to say about this anymore because I'm so frustrated, but you know, I'm not alone. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.